Hi, this is Shane Bengal with the Mana Group, and today I'd like to talk about a little bit of market update, not specific, more on the national level. Get some information to you that may be useful as you try to plan for selling and or purchasing your home. We are in an interesting market for sure. Um, just speaking with what's going on with interest rates in our country, what's going on with tariffs, what's going on with the political climate, how difficult it is to build new homes. We're probably a little bit behind in supplying the appropriate homes for uh, the need. The supply and demand is definitely off. So let's talk about some of the key factors going on. I think interest rates is always the first and foremost conversation topic. Everybody wants to know what's happening with interest rates, what's going on, where are they going to go, when do they come down, are we ever going to see 3% again? These are the questions that we all have. The historical low interest rates of 3% are probably, some people will say we'll never see that again. I definitely am not one of those people that will say we never will see that again. The market always changes and shifts, and who knows what is possible. I will say it'll probably be a long time before we see that low of interest rates. Um, I think hopefully, we see things in a lower, more normal range in the 4 to 5%. There's forecast right now that by late 2025, early 2026, we'll see slightly below 6%. And obviously, we see political world. We see Trump fighting against Jerome Powell and saying, hey, these rates need to get lowered. Jerome Powell saying we're not lowering the rates. We all know that mortgage rates are not directly connected to the federal funding rate. Um, they're more directly connected to the 10-year treasury. But not going to digress in this video about that. Currently, the thing I'd say that's really important for buyers and sellers to factor in is that most forecasts say the 6% interest rate threshold is kind of the glass ceiling, meaning we have a lot of buyers that are sitting on the sideline right now. There's a lot of people that need to buy a house or would like to buy a house, but because affordability is not what they like to see, they're waiting and hoping that affordability comes to a better place. Locally, we definitely have seen some plateauing in prices, and we've seen a lot of homes going on the market and having price reductions. That's very common right now, or we've seen sellers offering concessions to buyers. So we are seeing a softening in price, which is very helpful to buyers. Sellers are not exactly always so thrilled about that, to be understood. Um, but with all these buyers on the sideline, the 6% threshold on interest rates is quite an interesting thing to think about. If rates got to 6% or 5.99, economics the economic forecast is that a lot more buyers will come into the market, which would be good and helpful and would help get the market moving and get things going in the direction we'd like to see, because movement helps keep things healthy. If there's too many buyers that flood the market and we get to have, sellers get to have all the choices again, we will see too much uh, in prices going up. And that would be tough for buyers, great for sellers. So it's this needle that we have to thread. The federal government is trying to keep a control on inflation, but also keep the economy moving forward. So that's where we're always facing that hard part. But 6% interest rates could be a real key to open up the door and unlock the door for more buyers to enter the market, and therefore sellers be able to sell their house with a lot more ease. There are many more things about this that go into it: employment reports, CPI, all of these things. I love to nerd out on these things. If you would like to discuss more, ask questions about how it's important in your planning to buy or sell, I'd love to sit down and talk with you about that.